Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Dogs Down South. I'm your host, Ted Turner. We are live. It is week 0, the week 0 show. That sounds really weird, but man, when you are just fiending for some college football, you'll do everything you can around week 0 because before that, we were just praying for week 0. What's up, Fish? How are you?
What's up, man? Doing great.
Hanging
Great,
out in
great,
the
great.
pod tonight, man. It is a normal week, man. Like we're picking some games. It's not the normal slate, but
I'll take it,
feels
dude. I'll
normal,
take it.
right?
Whatever I can
Right?
get.
Feels normal this week.
Yep.
Yeah. What So let me get the little gist, man. So week 0, what you been feeling this week? What's the vibe?
The vibe is it's just football, and I don't care who's playing. I'm watching it. And like I remember a couple of years ago, like week 0, I watched Vandy in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it looked like they were playing in a high school football stadium, but it was one of the best games of the year
Yeah.
because it was the first game. It was football. It's live action games that matter, and that's what it's all about. That's what I'm ready for. That's what I can't wait to see Saturday.
Yeah. I feel it, man. I feel it. Don't worry, man. Hugh Freeze is just hanging out too, man. He's doing the same thing. He's just hanging out, trying to figure out life. And
I have to be careful what I say about Auburn.
don't worry, I'll say it all, bro. I mean, I ain't saying nothing but what he's putting out there, so I feel good
I
about it.
know,
It's
I
funny.
know.
I've been welcome everyone on YouTube tonight, joining Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Been a really couple of cool nights on TikTok talking football, man. A lot of SEC people out there and getting to know the folk and talking some top 25. It's been fun, and
Awesome.
so it's been really cool, man. We're garnering some views from that crew over there, which I like, man. But it's week 0. We're going to talk some Georgia football. Got a lot of things. We're finishing up. Crazily enough, we feel a little bit behind. So Georgia's been out of fall camp this week, and they are uh, quickly into regular game prep. I would say regular season practices, better yet. They asked Kirby at his presser on Monday, like, "Are you going to focus on Marshall this week, or what's the deal?" And he's like, "Nope, we're focusing on us this week." So he's treating it still like camp, post camp vibes. So good to
Hmm.
see. Really good
Hmm.
to see. I think it shows that Kirby hasn't changed much. There's a level of comfortableness in what's going on at practice, but so we haven't really talked. We haven't really done a lot about Marshall. So we're not going to talk a lot about Georgia Marshall tonight, but we are going to finish up with uh, part 5 of our camp preview, and we're going to finish up with the quarterbacks and the special teams. Now, I know some people think, okay, you're going to talk about kickers and punters. No, we're going to talk about it all. There's some really electric conversations around punt returning, kick returning, as well as a lot of news about, is Brett Thorson, is he punting first game? How's he recovering from that injury? So a lot of news around that. But before we get to that, Fish, I want you to chime in on something. So today, breaking news, we just heard officially about an hour ago that the SEC has officially voted to go to a 9-game conference schedule starting in 2026, literally next year. What do you think about that, and why do you think it happened so quick?
They were just sitting there ready for that, man. Like, I mean, it's amazing how fast, like, the turnaround was from when they announced the new, strength schedule metric, system, how they're gonna, come up with the rating and the number, and then today, like the next day, the very next day, we're at 9 games. But I'm cool. I am all for that. More SEC football is great for me. I love that. And as long as we keep playing Tennessee, Florida, Auburn, the rivalries, and maybe we can get the South Carolina game back because I was just thinking today that we haven't played South Carolina in a couple of years, and we usually play them every year, like since 1991 or 1992. We played them every season, so that'll be fun. Hopefully, we can get that game back.
Yeah, yeah. Interested to see what the schedules now look like. Usually about this time of year, you already kind of know what next year looks like, and everything's changed a little bit since Texas and Oklahoma came into the SEC, and then they brought it down that they were going to do this, 2-game home and away type thing. I'm wondering if that's going to change. But obviously, there's changes coming down the way. I know some of the biggest um, format stuff that happened is basically they're going to continue with single standings, non-divisional structure. Each school will play 3 annual opponents focused on maintaining traditional values. Each team's remaining 6 games will rotate among the remaining conference schools, and each team will face every other SEC program at least once every 2 years, and every opponent home and away every 4 years. I personally think this is a step in the right direction. I mean, I understand it's adding that extra game, but like I think some of that stuff was what was kind of weird, right? These first 2 years of Texas and Oklahoma were like, oh, all right, same schedule this year. And if I'm Florida this year, I'm like, wait a minute. Not only do I have to dread this year, I have to
I feel
dread
like that
next year.
that
Right?
was just incredibly lazy.
Right.
I mean, how long do you think it honestly takes Greg Sankey to go in, while to make a schedule?
Yeah.
Him and the powers that be, whoever's over the SEC, it can't possibly take that long. It doesn't require that much thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just rotate the games. I get it. 3 annual opponents. So what do we think? Auburn, Florida,
Yeah.
Tennessee, probably.
Yeah.
And then just rotate everybody. It can't be that hard.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of it was the first 2 years, and forgive me for saying this, but the first 2 years I feel like Texas was one of the main culprits that came in and goes, money. What about money? Like we get, and it's like, oh, and so obviously that played a big part. And so they want to go, well, we got to be fair. So let's do some home and aways the first 2 years, keep it safe, make Texas and Oklahoma feel comfortable, roll out the red carpet. It wasn't Oklahoma that made feel comfortable. They made Texas feel extremely comfortable.
Oh,
And
and
still do.
Oklahoma has a gauntlet this year, dude, and last year.
Right.
They have a brutal schedule.
Right. So just another way that, Arch Manning and Sark, the red
Lord.
carpet of Lamborghinis get what they want, man. So other news, Auburn just claimed 4 national championships.
Here we go.
2
Here we
nights
go.
ago. 2 nights ago, man. Auburn's just like, you know what? I think we're going to grab those national championships from when there was
Lord.
actually teams those years we grabbed it from that were better. Not only like physically better, but like statistically, they
Yeah.
had more wins than us.
Oh my God.
I know you really you can't speak into it, but man, you can't bypass this up.
What
can't
in the
bypass this.
world? It has been a summer
Yeah.
for them, for Auburn and Hugh Freeze, man. Oh my God. I mean, they're just that team you laugh at now. Like, it just keeps coming. Like, stop it. Just stop.
It's either the biggest troll in the history of college football, or this is real and very depressing.
I mean, if they go 9-3, 10-2 this year, nobody remembers what's happening right now. It all goes away. It all goes away.
I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, nobody remembers Lane Kiffins. I mean, he's got some incredible trolls from the past 5 years, but
I know, big time.
But like, you can't pull them right up off the cuff, man. But like, this is fresh, man. Like, we're 3 for 3. Like, Hugh Freeze, if he's as good at winning football games as the head coach as he was at knocking some stupid comments out of the box, man, he'll win a natty this year. I mean, he's 3 for 3 right now on trolls. Number 1, we're gonna have 3 different play callers. Number 2, we're gonna have 3 quarterbacks against Baylor in my opener. Which, mind you, if you lose that game and then you turn around and you lose to Oklahoma, you start 2-2 and your job's on the line. And then after that, so there's 9 possible ways to screw it up in the first, I don't know, game of the year. And then you claim 4 national championships.
The microscope is on them now. Like, all he has done was put all the focus and all the eyes on his team. And if he doesn't go out there and deliver, oh my God.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna get ugly. And as far as the media is concerned and the fans, it's gonna get ugly quick.
I agree, man. I agree. It makes me thankful for Kirby Smart, man. Kirby was asked the presser, and we're going to talk the presser, but he was asked about, hey, Gunner, I know you haven't named, hey, Kirby, I know you haven't named Gunner Stockton the quarterback yet, but do you think you could kind of go as far as saying, like, what's going to happen with that and, how that's going to work? And he basically said, why? So you can write about it? And so obviously Kirby's to the point of, hey, I'm not going to give you anything to write about. So
There has never been any quarterback competition. I mean, there has, but everybody knows that it's Gunner. He doesn't have to make an announcement. He doesn't have to do some big press release, because everybody knows. I
right.
mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Other news: Jam Miller. So there is questionable truths about what's going on with Jam Miller. For listeners that don't know who Jam Miller is, Jam Miller is the presumable starting running back for Alabama this year, and at least the returning back with the most game experience and yards on the ground. In this last scrimmage they had, he suffered a collarbone injury that some at first started and said broken collarbone, surgery, probably out for the year. And then next thing that comes out is popped back in place, could be 2 to 3 games. Funny that the 2 or 3 games was the one that was said, because 2 or 3 games means you get 2 or 3 games, you get the bye week, and then you're Georgia, right? So
Yep.
I thought that was wild. But what does this say about his plans this year? I mean, I'm hearing both, but let's just assume that Jam Miller. Let's talk about the Florida State game that's coming up in a week and a half now, week and a couple days. What does it change about Alabama? Because we know they're going to have a great defense. They're going to field a great defense this year. We know the offensive line returns is strong, but we know that some of the where some of the Achilles heel could be is we don't know much about Ty Simpson, and we don't know much about the run game, because obviously Justice Haynes moved on and went to the Big Ten. So what does this say, Fish, about Alabama, their run game? Are they vulnerable first week against Florida State?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'll just be kind of similar to our situation at running back last year. It'll just be by committee. And they recruit well, so who knows? They might have their own version of a Nate Frazier, over there waiting, on some playing time. I mean, we don't really know.
Right.
I think they'll be okay. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it changes maybe a little, but if they had a more proven quarterback,
Yeah.
then I'd say maybe they go a little more pass heavy, maybe pass to set up the run, you know. Um,
Right.
but
Right.
since we don't know what we're getting, or Alabama fans, excuse me, don't know what don't know what they're getting with Ty Simpson, I don't think much changes at all. No.
Right. I was privileged to talk to somebody last night in the or maybe 2 nights ago in the SEC AP Top 25 conversation on TikTok, and it was a very I mean, I will be honest with you, I've been thoroughly impressed with the, how do I say this in the correct way, the common sense minded fans of some of these SEC teams, because I thought it could have turned into some Paul Feinbaum moments really quick, but it didn't. I actually talked to some really intelligent people. So this guy comes on and he says, he gives me a fact that I didn't think about. He said, some of the best years for Alabama has been when pocket passers have been present as the quarterbacks those years. Mac Brown, and you go back to Tua Tagovailoa, who was, I mean, let's be honest, Tua was a pocket passer, but he could go outside the pocket.
Yeah.
So forth, so on. And then you look at some of the years where you had, Jalen Hurts, you had Jalen Milroe. And this is also a fan, though, that I don't know the credibility of this, because this is also the same fan that said he didn't know who Jalen Milroe until last year when he took the field. So,
Lord.
anyways, saying all that to say is if that is correct, I'm hearing that Ty Simpson is a little bit more favorable towards a quarterback that likes to use his legs. He's not really your strong present pocket passer. So I mean, you think that changes anything? And how important do you think it is for the quarterback position to be successful in this Florida State game? Do you think that their
Now,
defense is enough just to shut FSU down and call it a day?
I don't know. I mean, FSU is coming off like one of like their historically worst season ever. 2-10. That's that's not good. That's not good. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think Gus Malzahn, year one is going to make that big a difference. I like him as a play caller. I really do. He's a little
Yeah.
predictable at times, but I think he's going to do good things. But I don't know, man. Florida State, I don't know, couldn't have improved that much. I don't think,
Right.
and not according to what they're saying how good Bama is going to be or what they're expecting to get from Bama. and Ryan Grubb, that offense is still going to click, I feel like, because Ryan Grubb is a heck of a play caller.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they still go in there and win. The game might be a little closer now, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think. I think they go in there and still win by 14.
Okay. And then last on our SEC, around the SEC icebreakers, so much talk about this, and I have not even looked into Toledo a lot, but is there a good possibility that Kentucky could actually start the year with a loss to Toledo? And if so, like what happens? Like, can Stoops? I mean, we said it earlier. We don't see Stoops honestly winning a ton of games in the SEC. I mean, I got him winning a possible one. But if he loses to Toledo, man, is it possible? And is it possible that Kentucky would actually just wait to see, hey, if you lose to Toledo, then you're out? How short is this leash for Mark Stoops? Like, I think everybody is concerned that he is definitely on the hot seat. But how short is this leash? If he loses Toledo, man, will they yank it right there?
I think maybe. I think they start looking. I don't know if they go public with anything,
Right.
but I think they go ahead and get somebody that they want. Even though it's early in the season, I mean, there could, a lot of coaches probably will be looking for jobs closer to the end of the season. But yeah, I think they go ahead and put some feelers out there, man. I don't think they're going to continue to be very patient with him. Although he's probably their best coach since Hal Mummy, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, I don't know. It's hard to walk away from that. But, Georgia eventually had to go, move on from Rick, which actually broke my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I love Mark Rick. I think he was a hell of a coach. But he wasn't, I guess, going to get us where we wanted to go. And maybe that reality is coming, to fruition at Kentucky, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you could go wrong. I mean, the only thing I think with Mark Stoops is like, does Kentucky sit back and go, we just kind of need a fresh start, right? I mean, I don't think Mark Stoops is a terrible coach. The tendencies I have to not like Mark Stoops is nothing against him as a person, and I just think that like he's had a pretty decent crop of players to work with. That, in my opinion, sometimes it's like you look on the field and you go, man, where does this connect at, right? But I do think Kentucky might do some good with some fresh ideas, some fresh recruiting, some young legs. I mean, you look at like Kenny Dillingham that joined Arizona State, and it lit a fire into them after some of the terrible years of that. It's, to me, it's like, I mean, you look at Jeff Lebby, who has come in, and I think they'll improve this year at Mississippi State. I think they'll still struggle, but like at least you feel like maybe you're not going in reverse. And I think that's for like Mississippi State. They feel like they're not gonna catch up overnight, but at least they feel like they're not going in reverse anymore, right? It's just a little bit different. If I'm a Mississippi State player, I'm like, oh well, I know we have a really great offensive mind. We have a good coach. He's bought in. He's excited. He's out there recruiting. We don't. It just seems like Mark Stoops is just like, if the cards fall, the cards fall, and I got a job because they can't afford
Oh
me.
my God, I know. It's like that last name can only carry you so far, and just like with Arch Manning, like, but it's I don't know. He does seem, I don't know. Maybe he's defeated. Maybe that's why he seems to be just, I don't know, not, I don't know. He's not fired up. He's just kind of, maybe they peaked a couple of years ago. Maybe that was his ceiling, and now he's walking back down the stairs and, back to where they live, in the bottom of the SEC, bottom 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah. Well, I
don't know.
He better be fired up, man, because if he
doesn't
does get
seem
beat
like
by
he is,
Toledo,
though.
man, it's
That's a very good possibility.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like, when you're sworn in as a juror and you can't say much, and then all of a sudden you lose at Toledo and they get rid of you, and then the next day Mark Stoops is like, he tells the whole story, like, and it's something we never knew. That's what I feel like. He's sworn in at Kentucky, and the day they let him go, he's gonna be like, yeah, man, like, let me tell you about this. I just feel like it's hard to see what he's dealing with, because and they keep him. So it just feels weird. And maybe they just want to keep basketball on top. Who knows? I mean, the minute
Maybe,
that
man.
football gets better, then basketball goes to the trenches, and
I
maybe they
mean,
feel like they can't keep up in all the sports.
that's how they make all their money.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
definitely not football.
Yeah, no, you got a point there, man. Moving along, Kirby press conference. Just some points Kirby made. Kirby was very, he was very, I would call it bland. He was very, I think, direct. I think he's very locked in. But you know, he did his 10 minutes in 1 second. I think he's required 10, so he did 10 minutes in 1 second, and it was a hard pass. So he just talked about 4 main points I got was, you know, there was questions asked about, you know, tackling and how much they can work on tackling. And, you know, obviously we know tackling to the ground is where your most high chance of getting injured is. And he talked about how, you know, the defensive coaches have gone to great ends to try and replicate that without tackling to the ground in so many situations to even coach on how to tackle appropriately in practice. And you know, to be said, you have to practice it. And Kirby's going to practice it. Like, he's not going to just not practice it, because he does feel like, well, if we can't tackle anybody, then worrying about an injury is not going to be the biggest problem we have, right?
Yeah.
He was talking a lot about Justin Williams, and Justin Williams actually in an interview that you can catch on YouTube. Justin Williams is a good kid, man. He's a smart kid. I think the difference in interviews from Georgia players right now show that there's a direct seriousness and connectivity with the team that is not talking about anything other than themselves. That's what the difference is in the culture at Georgia and some of these other teams where, you know, you hear Diego Pavia, you hear this Castellanos kid from Florida State, man, they're just popping off at the mouth, dude. And it's like, I think Kirby's pretty much told these guys, hey, if that's what you think your mic time needs to look like, save us some trouble, because I'm not going to allow them to air it anyway. Right? You may get it out for a couple of minutes, but we're not airing it. So it was cool to see Justin Williams and hear him talk about the connectivity of the linebacker room and kind of what he feels like some of these guys are meaning. Talked about a little bit about Chris Jones moving from inside to outside. Talked about how this group of linebackers is so close. I mean, it was Justin Williams, but so far he's not been scared to put these linebackers on the mic. Justin Williams, Chris Cole, CJ Allen. You've kind of heard from almost the entire starting front for the linebacker room. Well, what does that say about Kirby and Glenn Schumann this year in the defense?
A lot, I think. You know, actually, CJ Allen was on Feinbaum today.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, he sure was. He had about a 5 minute segment where he was just chit chatting with Paul.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was Paul able to pull anything out of him?
About as much as you would expect. Not much. Paul's good, but you know, he I don't think he was fishing for anything crazy. I think he was just. It was a very pleasant conversation. You know, I enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to hear from the linebackers. I think that's going to be the heart and soul of the defense this year.
Yeah.
You know, much like it is every year. But you know,
yeah,
that's just who we are, and I'm fine with that. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't mean anything about the other two position groups. You know, say DBs and D linemen. You know, but I just linebackers are where it's at. That's who we are. That's our identity on defense. I think we always have awesome linebackers, and yeah, it's good to hear from them. I like hearing from players. You know, I like hearing these little interviews and stuff like that.
Right.
Like I really enjoyed that interview with CJ Allen on Feinbaum today.
That was cool, man. I need to go back and grab that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think that just goes to show when you put people in front of microphones, you're taking a big chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creating bulletin board material could honestly take away from everything that you work on throughout the year. To me, bulletin board material gives another piece of motivation to a team that sometimes, depending on the matchup, already is at an advantage. Whether it's we're playing there and you got bulletin board material, or there's injuries, or there's already problems that exist throughout the season. If you can't run the ball, if you can't not throwing the ball well, and it starts to stack, and then you have to deal with the fact that, oh, by the way, like, they're a little pissed because you went out there and said something about you fill in the blank, right? So
Yep.
I think that's important. I think it's important to see how the culture and the cohesiveness of how those guys get on the mic and how they represent Georgia so well. And I really don't think they're coached on it. I think it has a lot to do with just how Kirby in general delivers his messages on the mic,
Yeah.
as well as the other coaches. And I think they see it, emulate it, and realize there's not a lot that you need to know out there. So, other thing, we're not gonna talk much about Brett Thorson because we're gonna get into special teams with Brett Thorson, Drew Miller. I talked about, Brett Thorson is doing well. He did not kick during the scrimmage, but did kick on the sideline. But Drew Miller looked a lot better. Apparently, they have ways that they measure zones and hang time and where they're positioning kicks. And Drew Miller was performing at a very high level. He was hitting at least 90 to 95% of his zones. He had some good hang times. That's good to hear in case Thorson, does intentionally is not going to be in there for the first few games, which I think it wouldn't be the worst thing. And then the other thing that caught me off guard was, didn't catch me off guard, but I felt fascinating, was he talked about London Humphreys, and London Humphreys actually was on an interview as well. And not much has been said about London Humphreys, but a lot was said about London Humphreys from Kirby. But not a lot has been said from people about it, scrimmages about London Humphreys and things of that nature. But he talked about what kind of role he may play this year. The weird part is he mainly keyed in on his presence on special teams. Now, I don't know if that means returning kicks, punts, anything of that nature, or just physically. We know that a lot of these guys play special teams, whether it's kickoff, kick return, punt, all that stuff. They're on it.
Yep.
Now, I don't have any London Humphreys on a lot of these depth charts for special teams. That doesn't mean, we might not know everything about that, right?
That's
But
very
I found
true.
I found it fascinating because, he wears a blue Guardian cap every day, which we know what the blue Guardian caps mean. They mean that those are the particular players that Kirby has labeled that players that are playing with fire, passion, and energy, which is something that they're kind of mottoing this year.
Yep.
So what do you think? What do you think about London Humphreys? Do you think maybe he may be used in a little bit different role this year? You think? There is the receiver room is very talented, but I think Kirby has a lot to say about people who've been in the program and lead, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this is what, year 2 for him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Came to us from Vanderbilt.
Yeah. So, and he looked good against us also in that Vandy game, that first Vandy game. In fact, I think he was their leading receiver that year too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope and that fire, passion, energy Guardian cap that you were referencing, I like that, but and I know that means he's practicing hard, he's leading, he's shouting, he's doing all the things that Kirby wants to see everybody doing, but also, Rudy, would have had a blue Guardian cap too, but Rudy wouldn't have been starting at middle linebacker or defensive end. You know what?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I hope it means that he's he's taken, I'm lost for words right now, but anyway, I hope it reflects more than just how he's practicing. I hope it means that I hope his skill comes along with all the intangibles, that Kirby likes to see.
Yeah, I agree. And people like us, and reporters and things of that nature, we're reporting on a lot of stuff, and I'm sure there's so many things that first game against Marshall we're going to watch and we're going to be like, where was that guy? Wait, what? Where was what? We got that. There's going to be some like, whoa, what was that? What's this?
Yep.
And that's just how Kirby is. Like, it wouldn't be past me if this is not how he operates, but it wouldn't be past me if Kirby didn't look at them in the press conference and be like, how do you guys know that Ryan Puglisi's not going to start against Marshall and Austin Peay? And then, can you imagine Dog fans and everybody around Dog Nation and reporters and podcasters?
Golly,
if Puglisi trotted out there against Marshall and Kirby's like, what? I didn't name a starter. I'm not saying Ryan Puglisi is the starter, but I am saying that Gunner has nothing to prove, right? Who knows? Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
Hilarious.
But
Man, if
but
Kirby
it's
had a sense of humor, he could really, really, really mess with some folks.
I think it's just
That
yeah.
would
I
be
just think it's
hilarious.
Kirby's like inverted troll. It's like, look,
Yeah.
man, I troll you without even having to try to troll you. Like it's
Well,
just that
that's
whole
very Nick Saban-ish.
uh-huh,
Like
uh-huh.
that's very Saban-ish. Like right there. I love that. I think that's hilarious. And that's right. They get tired. And I know these reporters are just doing their job. Man, I know they're doing what they're supposed to do, but
Yeah.
the coaches get tired of that crap, man. And sometimes they want to. It would be nice if they just, when they give it back to them,
Yeah.
like just give them what they want, but even if it's not real news, because
Yeah.
there's no crime against that, you know.
100%. 100%, man. All
Could
right.
we easily
Well,
start a Marshall?
let's yeah, man, it would be hilarious. It would throw so many people completely off. And then, you'd see Knoxville, you would see, oh, well, what's happening here, and Gunner rolling out, and but I'm sure he would face so many questions on that week 2 presser that we would know something, obviously, but yeah. So let's hop in. Let's finish out. So what we got left on the pod tonight? We're gonna finish out quarterback and special teams preview, which will wrap up our fall camp preview, and then we're going to finish our over and unders in perfect timing. Then we're going to pick our 5 week 0 games. That'll be fun.
I can't
But
wait. Picking
let's hop
games,
in with
Ted. We're
special teams
picking
first.
games.
Yeah, we have to pick games, man. It's like I feel like we should have some headgear and everything, even though we're picking. I
I
mean,
know, right?
game day is not even showing up in any games this year, and we know why. We know that it's because of Corso's, his big to do. They would not do that in Dublin, Ireland. I understand they would do that in a place like you know
Well, that
the
was where
shoe.
the I think the shoe. I think Columbus's was the first game day.
Yes,
I think
yes,
that's where the first game day was. So I mean, it makes perfect sense. They're going to
yeah,
send him out. I'm going to record that and mark it undeletable
yeah. Show it to your
because that.
kids, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I am. That's history, dude.
yeah.
That's my history.
I agree.
Like him, and those Saturday mornings are. Oh my God, dude! It's part of the
Yeah,
reason I fell in love with football as much as I have. You
I
know.
agree, man. I agree, man. So let's just hop into special teams. I think there's really no shockers here. I think more for our listeners, it's like, well, what's it going to look like? How's this going to kind of roll? I think in special teams, when you look at who's going to be tackling most of the punting duties, I don't think you'll see Brett Thorson the first game, maybe 2 games, but you might. But I think Drew Miller, if I'm guessing, may take the most of those snaps at punter during that first Marshall game. But like we just said earlier, Kirby said that Drew's doing a really great job. Seems to be doing really well. But we all know that Brett Thorson has been picked for an All-American candidate watch list this year, and so
Well
curious to
deserved.
see how he pans out. And I do think he'll be in there. I think it's just more precautionary. And then obviously Peyton Woodring returning as a junior as the place kicker, and then Liam Badger behind him. Badger's wearing 92, and Woodring will be wearing 91. I love those numbers, man. It's like there's a defensive tackle running out there, but yet it's Peyton Woodring running out there. Would you not agree, Fish? Not being biased, this is probably one of the most talented special teams rooms in the country.
Since Rodrigo, since we had Blankenship, and I can't remember who our punter was that year, but he was not too shabby himself.
It was the
Uh,
Aussie. I forget the
yeah,
other Aussie.
but yeah, oh, I totally agree. Peyton missed a couple of kicks last year and some big moments that could have turned some games in our favor or helped us out, or made the game look
Yeah,
different and maybe feel a little different. Because
right.
when you miss a kick, man, it just kind of deflates your sails. you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah,
hopefully he's got that under wraps this year. But yeah, he's a great kicker, and I usually think he's automatic whenever he rolls out there. I was
yeah,
very surprised he missed some of those kicks he missed last year.
yeah. I
But
agree.
yeah, definitely not worried about him. And oh my God, Brett Thorson, man,
Yeah,
teach that man to just stay out of the pile.
right.
You know what I mean? Like teach
Yeah,
him how to tackle or teach him how to just stay away. Because his leg is where he's going to make his money at the next level. He needs to stay healthy and get as many reps in as he can. He's awesome. I love him. I love
I
having a
un-
good punter.
I 100% agree, man. I 100% agree with you. It's going to be, when you look at long snapping, I think Mr. Bo Gardner is going to be doing most of that. Will Snelling will be behind him, looking like the holding duties, even though I know we don't think the holding duty is a big thing. We
Oh
know
my
how
God, it
Kirby
is, man.
Smart relies on the special teams units. Gunnar Stockton, this will change. This will change zero. But if there's any identification that Gunner's not the starting quarterback, it's usually the starting quarterback that is the holder as well. As we look at Carson Beck and Stetson for the last 4 years, has been
Yep.
the primary holder, and then Ryan Puglisi backing that up. And we're looking at, as far as punt returning duties, I think we're looking at Zachariah Branch, backed up by Sokovie White, and then the third part of that, if needed, is KJ Bolden, and then for kick returning duties, Zachariah Branch, and then Cash Jones is back there along with Dylan Bell and KJ Bolden. I think what you see here always with Kirby is you have to be able to show that you can protect the ball, not turn the football over. And so even with the excitement that Zachariah Branch brings to us in the slot position, I think he might bring some of the old patterns of when Champ Bailey possibly used to return some punts and kicks for Georgia.
Mhm.
I've heard that he's a game changer on special teams as well. And man, could we use a few more change of, I call it just change of field sometimes when you get a big play that you feel like, okay, the offense is struggling to move the ball on both ends. And how can the offense get the ball in territory where they can feel good about it? Next thing you know, you have Zachariah Branch who just pops a 40-yard run. And next thing you know, you've changed the whole pace of what's happening because the defenses are really locked in. The offenses are struggling. That's a thing that we have not had in a long time. What's the most? I mean, what stands out to you about this special teams unit? Anybody you want to really bring light to, Fish?
Man, I don't ever want to see KJ Bolden out there returning kicks. I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of athlete that man is, dude. That's not something I ever want to see just because that man, I don't know. That's just more of a chance for him to get hurt, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
Um, but, you know, uh, I'm kind of, we need a game breaker. I think Brandon Boykin might have been one of the last, game changer kick returners that we've had. He was awesome. Ty Gurley too, man. Oh my God, Ty Gurley
yeah,
was a
yeah,
great kick returner.
yeah.
I loved watching him take off, man. He was fast. But yeah, uh, we could really really use somebody to get out there and change the outlook, or like it's just like having a kicker you can rely on, because like I said earlier, missing a kick versus making a kick can change you know the way the game's flowing. It can take a lot
Hundred
of the
percent.
momentum away, and let's say our offense isn't looking too great or whatever, and they get a stop, and then we're down 14, and we get a punt, and Branch runs it all the way back for a touchdown, and then
Yeah,
boom, we're right back in the game. We haven't had anybody like that was a real threat as far as
agree.
for a kick return in a while.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I think it's man. I'm ready to see Zach Branch, man. I want to see the hype around this guy, and I think he is worth the hype. Or I don't know, man. I just don't think people get hype for no reason, right? I think there's
Yeah.
definitely something to be excited about in that room. And
Yep.
then rounding out the entire grouping is our quarterbacks, and regardless of if they're going to run Ryan Puglisi out there on a fake troll or not, no, they won't. But obviously, I think QB1 is Gunnar Stockton, the returning redshirt junior. And then you'll have Ryan Puglisi, the redshirt freshman, behind him. And then you're probably going to see the way it's been flowing for fall. It's been Ryan Montgomery, the true freshman,
Yep.
behind him, and then Coulter Ginn, the redshirt freshman, and then behind all of them is Hezekiah Millender, who shows promise. We recruited him out of the Athens area over there, and really good legs, really good arm talent. So I mean, once again, like very very excited about the quarterback room. You got Jared Curtis, who's going to be coming in next year. No, we're not talking about next year yet, but you know he's committed, he's locked and loaded, and so the one thing you do see out of this quarterback room is youth. So there is a lot of development that's going to go on during the season, but I'm hearing good things about Gunner, man, and we've talked a lot about Gunner, but I think the only thing I would add to it is the more I've heard lately about his control of the offense. Like everybody feels like he's just not that deer in the headlights look when he entered in those games when he had to, and then you're starting against Notre Dame in the college football playoff. Like, let's be honest, man. I mean, even some of the quarterbacks that had played all 12, 13, 14, 15 games that year were kind of deer in the headlights on the first playoff game of the year for them. He
Definitely.
had to have some real big eyes.
Oh, I don't care what anybody says. He got thrown into the SEC championship at halftime. It's like, all right, man,
Right.
here you go. Like, we need you. Step up.
Yeah.
Like, and thank God he did.
Yeah.
But I think that was invaluable game experience for him
Right.
because I guarantee Marshall's not going to feel the same, not going to be too big for him. And I don't
Right.
think, when Bama, Texas, and Ole Miss come to Athens, I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. And I think I think the biggest win for Georgia, and we're gonna wait because we'll use this next week. But the biggest win for Georgia, just talking about quarterbacks as we wrap it up this year, is just getting them confident. You know, Marshall and Austin P. You need to get Gunner confident with the flow of the offense, what he's looking at as far as the plays, what is he looking at audible wise, what is he seeing? Are we getting off fast? Are we running? Are we checking out of things that we can clearly see are not going to work? It just getting him in live game action. I mean, you play against one of the top defenses in the country every single day. So
Yep.
I can tell you that most of the time, what you hear from Georgia quarterbacks is we play against one of the best teams in the nation every single day. That's not
Iron
the problem.
sharpens iron.
Yeah, that's not the problem. It's more of just can we can we get the excitement, reeled in. This will be the first opener for Georgia in a couple of years where it doesn't I don't want to look past Marshall by any means, but it doesn't just you don't look at it blaring obvious and go, well, if you lose this, it won't hurt. Obviously you're supposed to win this game, but there's more that has to come out of this win. There's a lot of,
Oh,
unanswers that have to happen. Do you
a
agree?
100%, 100%, dude. This is a big game for Mike Bobo
Yeah.
in the offense. They need to come out, and I'm not gonna settle for anything less than 28 first half points.
Mm,
I'm sorry. Like, we need like a couple of quick touchdowns.
yeah.
Maybe not on the first possession. I get it, rust. Get the feels, get the jitters out of the way. And Gunner, I know he's going to run out there and be confident. I'm not worried about him, but he's going to be a little. I guarantee you, just a little like
Right.
antsy.
Right.
Like maybe try to throw the ball too hard. Maybe a couple of overthrows. Maybe when Bobo runs his world famous tunnel screen, Gunner throws it to the sideline. Because he sails it over the guy's head. Something like that. I am expecting things like that to happen on the first couple of drives. But
Right.
I mean, if we don't get at least 28 against Marshall in the first half, dude, I'm going to be worried about the offense.
It's going to be a hard week 2 podcast if
You
that's
know
the
it, dude.
case.
Oh my
And I mean,
goodness.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that wraps up our fall preview, and it kind of gives us our thorough push into the season starting. Fish, we got about 6 or 7 teams left from um, our last segment that talked about over and under, and would they be over that? Would they be under? These are predictions, obviously, from sports writers. These were not our predictions. I have my predictions, but I choose to lean on sports writers so that at least when I pick these teams during the year, I don't have to stick to some of this stuff because we all
Zero
know week to week's
accountability.
going to change, right?
That's
Well, week
right.
to week's going to change, and you're right. I don't want that on me. So let's hop right in. Let's finish that out, and then we're going to pick these games, man, and then we're going to actually be able to see some college football this weekend. We left off at right behind Auburn, so that pushes us to Missouri. So last year Missouri had a 10-win season, and right now the over and under for Missouri is sitting at around 7.5. Now, a lot of unanswers at Missouri. I think they have uncertainties at running back. The guy from Louisiana is Mod Hardy. He tore it up in the Sun Belt, but this is the SEC.
It's
Defense
different.
obviously, adds some key pieces. The line, can the offense show they can have some consistency. Who is Bo Prabula other than a quarterback that they paid $1.5 million for? How does that all look? They open up Central Arkansas. I think that's a win. I think Kansas is a win. I think Louisiana Lafayette is a win. I think South Carolina. What do you think about South Carolina, Fish?
Oh, they're beating Missouri
I think it's a
on
loss
the
as
road.
well.
Yep.
I think it's a loss to 3-1. They'll beat UMass as 4-1. Open date. I think they lose to Alabama 4-2. At Auburn, what do you think, Fish? Missouri at Auburn. It's got to be Auburn, right? Auburn's got to win this game.
At Auburn, yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick them.
So 4-3. Vanderbilt, I think, is a win. 5-3. Texas A&M, I think, is a loss. 5-4. I think they beat Mississippi State 6-4. At Oklahoma, what do you think, Fish?
No, Oklahoma's gonna get that.
I think it's a loss. 6-5. And then I got at Arkansas is a win. So I think if I'm looking at it right now, I mean, I think your swing game for that 7.5 for Missouri has to be Auburn, right?
It has to be.
Right. But so if you're going to get 7.5 or more, it's Auburn.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
I'm taking under. I think they're going to finish right there at 7-5. I mean, I think if we agree on that, we can disagree, but I think
Missouri is a team. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Missouri is a team that celebrates mediocrity. Like last year, they had a T-shirt made that said "bowl bound."
Right.
But that can't be the goal. Like you have to want more out of a season than just going to a bowl. Like, come on.
You just dropped a bar right there. Bowl can't be the goal. I mean, what else you got, Fish? Fish dropping bars right here live, man.
I saw that shirt last year, dude, and I took a picture and I think I sent it to you and Rich. Yeah. Because I mean, that made me laugh so hard. Like, come on, dude, get real.
Funny man. Funny man. Yeah, I think it's under. Moving along, we're lightning pace. South Carolina. I'm high on South Carolina. We're going to see what sports writers are looking at. They're saying 7.5. 9 wins last year. They're looking at 7.5 this year. So Virginia Tech will be a tough game, man. This is a game that's in Atlanta. Now, let me tell you why Virginia Tech will be a tough game. I think Virginia Tech likes to pride itself on being aggressive, establishing the run. I think they'll do things to keep Lenora Sellers off the field, and that'll keep this game close. But I do think South Carolina wins this game. I think South Carolina State is a win. Vanderbilt's a win. At Missouri's a win. Kentucky's a win. And I think we agree on this. We talked about they're going to go 5-0, and they're going to be going to Baton Rouge, right? Who do you got? I mean, this is off the cuff, and we may change this 6 weeks from now, but at this point right now, who do you got at LSU? South Carolina.
That's going to be such a good game. I think night game LSU is going to be why LSU wins. I don't think it's going to be because Lenora Sellers doesn't show up or show out or anything like that. I think Nussmeier and all that talent he's got around him, and plus Death Valley on the road tonight. That's a hard place to win.
Yeah, I got LSU. I got them going on a little bit of a losing streak here. Fish. I got them losing to LSU. I think Oklahoma's defense will be too much for them. I think they've got enough on offense to challenge South Carolina. So I got them losing that one, and I got them losing to Bama, which puts them. They start out with 5 and they lose 3 quick, but then they got to go to Ole Miss. Now I think they're gonna kill Ole Miss. I don't care if it's at Ole Miss or not. I think they're gonna beat.
That's not a big home field advantage.
No. Plus they're gonna be pissed, man. If they're in a 3-game losing streak, they're going to be pissed. So I think that's where they get their 6th win, 6-3 at Texas A&M. Who you got?
A lot depends. Like there's a lot of variables for this. I like Lenora Sellers, man.
We're not picking it. Obviously, we're trying to get.
I know.
But I will say that it might change for me by then. But to me, I look at the fact that if you can keep Lenora Sellers off the field, then everybody has a chance against South Carolina.
They're going to have
Texas A&M runs the ball really well.
South Carolina's defense ain't no joke either, though. Like they're supposed to be pretty good this year.
Right.
Like they got an all SEC D lineman.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't know. Can't wait. But I think I'm big on Lenore Sellers. I watched him play games last.
I'll follow with you on that one.
I
I'll follow with you on that one.
like him.
So we got them at 7-3, correct?
Yep.
7-3.
Yep.
Coastal Carolina's 8-3, and then Clemson. Anything could happen, but so this is a 9-win team if everything happens. Let's just say they beat Clemson, right? Because we don't know what Clemson's going to be by then. So they're 9-3, 7.5 is worse. I still think whether it's 9 or 8, I think 8 are in the books. I think I'm going over for South Carolina. I think there's 8 wins there. I think the floor would be them losing to Texas A&M and Clemson, because that gives them too many, right? Which could happen. So I think that's the floor. I think the ceiling's 9 though, right?
Yeah.
Does a 9-3 South Carolina get into the playoff?
Depends on everybody else. Maybe.
I think there's room for a 5th SEC team, but we really don't know.
I think there is.
With all that being said, Florida, same drill, man. 7.5, 8 wins last year. Can we find 7.5 wins for Florida? Let's look at Florida. I think we can both agree on Long Island.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna watch this game. I've never seen Long Island play football. I mean,
I know, it's hilarious.
Can we just talk about this? There may be a plenty of people who have never seen this team in uniform and playing football on television, right? If it's even televised.
Yep.
So I'm going to be locked in to see is this going to be another ESPN troll game? Or is Long Island like 50-year-old, like graduation, like they're still in grad school and they're 50 years old and just can't get away from college and they're playing football now? I mean, do you remember that team
oh my God,
the high school team that trolled? They were a high school team, and it's wild, man. Long Island.
Yeah.
I think Long Island's a win.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a win. Sorry, go ahead. No, I'm with you.
South Florida, I think it's a win because we're not going to get deep into it. LSU, tough, man.
Lost
2-1 at Miami. I got them beating Miami. I think they'll beat
Miami.
Miami.
Me too.
3-1. Yep. Texas, do I want them to beat them? Yeah. Do I think they'll beat them? No. 3-2 at Texas A&M. 3-3. Mississippi State 4-3. Georgia 4-4. Kentucky 5-4 at Ole Miss. What do you think?
Dub.
6-4. Tennessee.
Yep.
Win.
Yeah, win.
7-4.
Too many questions at quarterback.
So I got 8 wins. So we're good with over. I mean, that's where I got Florida at. I got Florida maybe like an 8-4 this year. 8-4, 7-5.
That's good. That's a good record.
So I mean, I would feel comfortable with over for Florida, and that is if DJ Lagway is healthy. If DJ Lagway is not healthy, this is more like 6-6.
That's one of those teams, just like South Carolina. Like they need Lenore Sellers to stay upright and healthy, because that's how they're going to do good. That's how they're going to get the over. And same with Florida, dude. They live and die with Lagway.
Right. All right. Texas A&M. Here's my thing with Texas A&M, man. The thing about Texas A&M this year is you got to look at these games in a real close lens of Elko's going to get to play his football this year. He's going to slow the game down. He's going to run the ball, and he's going to play good defense this year. So this is the Duke years of Texas A&M. When you look at some of these offenses, UTSA I think is a win. Yep. Utah State's a win at Notre Dame. Yep. At Notre Dame, I might have Notre Dame in that one. What do you think?
You got to give it to Notre Dame.
Yeah. This
year, you got to, and until they prove you otherwise, you got to expect them to be just about as good as they were last year.
Yeah. 2-1 Auburn at Auburn. 3-1.
Yep.
Mississippi State.
I mean, yep.
4-1 Florida.
Yep.
I think we had them beating Florida 5-1 at Arkansas, 6-1 at LSU. I think they lose.
Yep.
Missouri's a win, 7-2. South Carolina, I think we had them at a loss.
Yep.
7-3. Samford is a win, 8-3 at Texas. So I got them at 8-4. I think 8.5. I might have to go under. I mean, I think what do you think the swing game is going to be for 8.5? Is that going to be
Carolina?
Carolina? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a home game. That's why.
Yeah. I think A&M is the thing
Their
about it
home
is
field,
if they're over 8.5, they might be in the playoffs.
they could be, and that home field advantage is real.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, could be the difference in the South Carolina game. Could just be where that game is.
Yeah.
And the crowd noise that Lenora Sellers has to deal with, and the
Yeah.
defense has to deal with.
Yeah. We're not gonna. So my top 4 teams, unless you disagree, my top 4 teams, we're not gonna do those because I think that leaves a lot of. I think we all know that that's going to be really giving away a lot of our picks for the year.
Oh,
But
definitely.
we'll do Ole Miss, Tennessee, and we'll do Oklahoma. Ole Miss, Sports Writers having an 8.5. This might be a struggle. Georgia State got us a win. At Kentucky's a win. Arkansas's a win. Tulane's a win. LSU's a loss, 4-1. Washington State's 5-1. Georgia's a loss, 5-2. Oklahoma, 5-3.
Yep.
South Carolina's 5-4. Citadel's 6-4. Florida's. You think Florida's beating them? That we had them beating them.
Yeah. Sure
6-5. Mississippi State. I think ceiling is 8. And I think worst case scenario it's 7. So I think either way, man, I got Ole Miss below here. And Kiffin's might have the major troll going on right now too, because he ain't said much at all, man. I ain't heard nothing from Lane Kiffin.
He was confident last year, and he was, talking a lot last year.
Yeah.
Like that's how you can kind of tell. Like Kiffin, that's his tell. I think.
Right.
Is how because the more confident he is, the more bulletin board material he'll give you and put out there. But yeah, he has not said much this year. Or maybe that he's changed his ways. Like maybe he's changed the way he's going to do things. Maybe he's just going to stay.
The man got baptized, and now he doesn't get on Twitter.
Yeah.
All right. I could agree with you on that. Tennessee, man, 8.5, 8.5, 10-win season last year for Tennessee. I don't know, man. I'm gonna struggle to find these 8.5 here, but I will definitely look. Dude, they don't even want me to do Tennessee. Go to homepage. They don't even let me see the schedule, man. Wow. They're trying to hack me. They're like, "Are you trying to look up Tennessee's record? We're gonna hack you."
They're worried. They're worried. That offense has so many holes, and especially quarterback. Like, who knows what they're going to get?
I can't even do Tennessee. I can't even do Tennessee right now. Can you do Tennessee? You got Tennessee schedule pulled up?
I've got their conference schedule in front of me. That's it, though. I don't know who their non-conference is.
All right. They don't want me to know either. Hold on one second. Let me see what we got here. Team by team schedule. Wild. Not found. All right. So what about complete schedule? Can't do that. All right, Tennessee, you survive, man. You survive. I can't now. If I can do team by team schedule and get Oklahoma, then we know that the football gods just don't want us to do Tennessee. Oh yeah, man. The football gods don't want us to do Tennessee. So Oklahoma's right here, man. So Josh Heupel, you have successfully hacked the system, and you are not letting anybody troll your over and under SEC record. But here's Oklahoma. Oklahoma now 6.5 is Oklahoma's number as far as sports writers. So Illinois State is a win. I'm gonna let you. We're just gonna say yes or no, but we're not gonna fight this out yet because this is a lot to talk about. This is a loaded question with Michigan. I'm gonna say at home. I'm gonna say at home, Oklahoma. What do you think? I'll take yours. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. 2-0. At Temple's 3-0. Auburn 4-0. Kent State 5-0. Texas 5-1. South Carolina. I picked them earlier. Picked Oklahoma against. We're going to give them 5-2 because, like I said, we're not going to hash this out. 6-2 against Oklahoma. At Tennessee 7-2. Alabama's 7-3. Missouri's 8-3. LSU's 8-4. I got Oklahoma being an 8-win team this year.
That's
just off the cuff.
Saving season. That's a season saving pick right there. I think Venables sticks around for another year. I think he keeps his flames underneath his hot seat. Tamed.
I agree, man. I agree. And that leaves us with LSU, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. These are the 4 teams that I think, and I think a lot of writers and sports writers think will be the 4 representatives from if they're ceiling a lot of these teams, these 4 teams have a ceiling of 11, 12 wins, and they have a floor of around 9.5 and 10. And I'm confident that 10 wins gets all 4 of these teams probably into the playoff. And so, all right, Fish. Well, we have arrived. We have arrived to our final moments of tonight, which means we get to make some picks. So, in honor of
Yes.
the pre-game picks of Lee Corso's last headgear next week, week 0. Let's attempt to see what we're working with. Let me pull up. I got ESPN college football here. I had it on my computer, but I don't want to lose it. So here we go. We have we don't. Here we go. We have Hawaii 7:30 p.m. August 23rd, Saturday. That's not 7:30 in Hawaii, by the way. Stanford, CBS. Hawaii's favored right now by a slim 2.5 points. Fish, who you got?
Give me Hawaii because they're supposed to have a really, really, really good quarterback, really, really good young quarterback on their team right now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Hawaii because what has Stanford done in the past?
I'll take Hawaii too because Stanford is just not good anymore, and they got to fly to Hawaii and they got to play a night game at what usually would be a 3:30 game for them. They're going to be all jacked up and out of it. I think they're just going to be jacked up, and it's not going to bode well for them. So yeah, I agree with you. Give me Hawaii. Western Kentucky, Sam Houston State at Western Kentucky, 7 p.m. on CBS Sports. Right now, Western Kentucky is a 10.5 point favorite at home. Who you got, Fish?
Well, give me Western Kentucky. Going with the spread.
Yeah, I like the 10.5.
Taking the points.
I like the 10.5 as well. This is at Houchins Industries LT Smith Stadium, longest stadium name ever.
Oh my God,
cow, man!
That sounded like one of the brand new bowls.
Is it?
No, it just sounded like
right.
It was.
Houchins Industries LT Smith Stadium Bowling Green Bowl.
Some weird long
it's in Bowling Green,
name.
Kentucky. Wow. Man, I didn't realize bowl. Yeah. Okay, let's not go there. All right, so Kansas, 6:30 p.m. on Fox. Fresno State heading into Kansas. Right now, Kansas is the 12.5 point favorite at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. I see these stadium names. I'm just going to start.
No, man.
Who you got,
Hilarious.
Fish? Who you
Give
got?
me the Jayhawks.
I like the Jayhawks here because they're going to take a beat down the second week.
Rock chalk.
I like Kansas here. I'm going to go basketball school for the win on this one. Man, UNLV 4:00. I don't see that they're going to be televised. Sorry, Dan. Who's my guy, man? Fill in my blank here. Who's the new coach? Who's the new coach at UNLV?
No idea.
Bro, it's Dan.
Oh, Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen.
Sorry.
I'm like,
my bad.
You're like who? I'm like who? Did I miss
Dan Mullen? Dan Mullen.
Dan
That's right.
Mullen makes his
right.
debut for UNLV versus the Idaho State Tater Slingers. 26.5 point favorites for UNLV.
Aren't they the Vandals? No, that's UNLV. Running Rebels. That's right.
No, it's the Idaho Vandals. Idaho State. It looks like it's a tiger or something, like a bull. No, it looks like a tiger. 26. It doesn't matter. 26.5 point favorites for the Rebels. Who you got? Does Dan Mullen get his first win as a running Reb?
Why not? I'm just glad he's not on a college football final anymore, dude. Yeah. I'm just glad he's gone.
Me too.
Because as much as I enjoy Matt Berry, I still had to sit there and stare at Dan Mullen, his ugly self. And, oh, my God, all his non-recruiting. How's that going to work out for you now, buddy? Like, that school you're at does not have enough money just to buy players, okay? You're going to have to recruit.
Oh, he's trying to. He's already got the students. He's like, get to the games. We need you. Let's start it. I don't know, man. I don't know about UNLV. I'll give them the win, though, against the Idaho State Tater Slingers. Idahawks. I don't know what I'm saying, man.
That's what
And
I'm
the
saying for
prime
Epsom and all
time
that.
game live from Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, Ireland is Kansas State, number 17 ranked Kansas State, also favored by some people to win the Big 12 versus Iowa State. The line right now, it changed, Fish. It's changed in the past hour.
Wow.
2.5 was the line before we hopped on. It's 3 now. I don't know what. I don't know if
Uh-oh.
I don't know if the kicking responsibilities changed and we feel better about the kicker. I don't know. But 3 points in Aviva Stadium in Dublin, Ireland. So noon kickoff. Who you got, Fish?
Give me Iowa State.
Iowa
Give me
State. I
Iowa
like
State.
Matt Campbell.
I'm not a fan of K-State's quarterback.
Avery
The guy
Johnson.
with the fluffy hair. Yeah, I
He
think
reminds me of Carrot Top, man. I like
uh,
Avery Johnson.
I
I think he's
think he's
I
too
think he's
work.
pretty electric. He talks a little trash, but I like him. I like Kleiman. I like the possibility of K-State being able to go to Dublin. I don't know, man. The Cyclone. I don't see Cyclones in Dublin. You don't see those. I don't know if they have like Cyclones and Hurricanes. I think they may have some Wildcats around there somewhere. And give me Kansas State, man. I honestly though, it, it it might be. I mean, 3 cover. I mean, 3 doesn't cover. So I don't know, man. I don't think they'll cover because if you got to look at it, and I don't know. I think Kansas State, man. Give me K State in like 7. I don't know,
There you go.
man. It's kind of bittersweet, man, to be able to see some football this weekend. But it also gives you more anticipation for Week 1 because, man, hopefully the next week we're going to be sitting here and there are some really really good games next weekend, man.
Oh Lord, yes. Oh my
So a
God,
lot to
so
talk
many good
about.
games next
We will
week.
house ourselves around picks next weekend. But Fish, final thoughts, man. Our fall preview comes to a close. We put it in the books. We focus on Georgia and Marshall next week. We get to talk what we're going to be seeing. We get to talk
Yep.
starting lineups, picks. Final thoughts as we put fall to a close.
Dude, I'm so ready. I'm watching old games. Last night I watched the FSU Georgia game from like 2002, where Fabian Walker started and Alonzo Jackson was a senior, and it was cool seeing that game and watching Georgia beat up on those boys a little bit. Even though, I love them because we all went to high school, to the same high school and everything. Much love for them, but it was fun watching Georgia beat up on Florida State and Bobby Bowden.
Right.
You know, I just every night, man, I'm making my wife a little crazy because I'm watching football late at night and I'm like yelling
Right.
at the TV, even though I know what's about to happen. I've
Yeah,
seen all
bro.
these games,
It's
but
not
I'm
live,
still
man.
just like I'm getting back into it, man. I'm
Yeah.
so pumped. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
6
It's
more
cool,
business
cool,
days
man.
until Georgia football.
6 more business days. Well, hey, listen, dog fans, enjoy your last week where you can officially still be able to miss your blood pressure pills and live because next week that's not possible.
Right.
Enjoy your last week of your remotes and your TVs being safe because football season is upon us. Pumpkin spice lattes are out next week. And so
Ooh,
it's here, man. So, hey, Fish, I'm excited. We're going to see some football this weekend. And
you know
yeah,
it.
man, we're going to talk. We're going to be able to talk some big games next week and looking forward to Georgia and Marshall. For
Me too.
myself, Adam Fisher, always a pleasure, man. It's going to be a
Yep.
great weekend of football and looking forward to next week. As always, at Dogs Down South, you guys have a good night and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.